just finished reading chapter 6 today. We want to make sure, we have a short day tomorrow, so we only have an hour and 5 minutes to get everything through. We definitely want to make sure that we get the individual assignment taken care of, and that we do the formative assessment so we know what to do for Friday. Okay, now take a look at the lesson plan we built together. Look at the objective again. Through classroom activities, students will be able to read a specific text and create questions orally to identify the main ideas in chapter 6. Now, part of the Common Core stuff is really asking us to cite strong and thorough textual evidence of correct answers. So once they've identified some of the main ideas in chapter 6, we want to have them cite, so give examples, have them go a little bit deeper, okay? We will, just like we usually do, we'll point out what the Common Core standard is, and we'll also throw out what the EL standard we're trying to accomplish that day. In the instructional portion on page 2, when we get to the part that we're modeling, you and I will go ahead and show that that dialogue back and forth so the kids remember how we do it when we're in our groups. So in the modeling I do portion, like I'll ask you the question, what did the elevator look like at the training center in the Capitol? We want the kids to visually get a picture of what that's like. And so you'll cite the evidence. So see how it says according to page 73? That's where I want you to come in with that part in there, and talk about the walls of the elevator are made of crystal, so you can watch the people on the ground floor shrink to ants as you shoot them up into the air.
What about if we were to shoot a clip or a little piece of the video so that they could see it? They could see this elevator, this crystal.
That's a good idea. Like off YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's add that in there. So YouTube video of them going up the elevator, because then the EL kids will get a better idea of what's going on, huh?
Exactly. I think it'd be great.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll show the dialogue, and we'll make sure to emphasize that according to page 73, because we want them to see how to do that. And then we'll go through with that, okay? In the structured practice, let's go ahead and break up into our 2 groups.
Since I've been working with the EL students, which is a small group of our entire classroom, I'd like to work with them maybe here at the round table. What do you think with that?
Yeah, perfect. Let's divide it like that. You'll take our 3 focus students.
I think that would be great, to work with the 3 here, since they're used to each other. They're very, they feel competitive.
Okay.
And I really think that they will work better together this way instead of the whole classroom.
Okay. So then you'll have your copy of the book. You'll come back here. Make sure, because in the groups they get a little lazy about it, but at the beginning of the group, make sure that they choose a leader, who the speaker is going to be, the person that is looking at for the evidence, and then the recorder.
Like we always do then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just
yeah, okay.
harp on that we want to do that, because in the reflection portion, like we talked about, we want to make sure that they know who had which role and
Correct.
what that role encompassed.
Well, the writer could write those things, we list down as far as the names, who's what.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. We want to take out the informal assessment there too and put formative. I'll make sure to update that. All right, and so we'll go through the structured practice. The main thing that we want them to be able to do is, by the end, we're looking, what do you think, 20, 25 minutes for this portion?
Yeah, maybe even 30.
Okay, so that we have enough time for the reflection at the end too,
Oh,
right?
I think so. I think that'd be pretty pumped up by the time we get to the end. According to what you have here, and the way you have it set up, it looks like they'll be ready to go.
Okay, so then what we will do then is we'll go ahead and make sure they get the 3 main ideas. So they're gonna come up with, 3 questions in that portion that, deal with identifying the main idea, okay? So with the EL kids specifically back here, you might wanna do like, kind of like a visual with them, differentiate it a little bit, where, maybe, cause they're gonna get up and present that portion to the rest of the class.
Right.
So maybe they can, instead of, if they're having a hard time with the writing, have them draw some pictures of what the main idea looks like in chapter 6.
Now, are you going to want full sentences to be written and spoken during this whole time, or just however they come out, one-word responses, or how do you want this done? What do you want them to do
Well,
to help themselves?
well, you and I both know with them, our biggest thing is getting them to contribute.
Right.
And feel like they have something to offer and some way to connect with the rest of the class. So if you feel like, they can best illustrate that or best get their point across through pictures, even if they're using the iPads or the Chromebook back here, and they do like a quick prezi and pull out, some pictures of it, that's fine. But they can also do it orally. We can differentiate by them doing it orally. So they could just show a picture and ask a question.
Okay.
So because especially our little friend, he doesn't like to write a whole lot, and so let's really get him to, if he feel like he can, because he's good at drawing, if he could draw a quick picture, and then they can take the picture with the iPad, and then he can include it, and we can throw it up on the smartboard. That'd work.
Maybe he will be able to get up there and talk with his drawing.
Perfect.
And so much attention is being paid. This might be a real incentive for him to go forward.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
All right, and then we get into, we've already talked about the guided practice and the closure. In the independent formative assessment, I was thinking we would do 2 paragraphs. This would kind of be also the ticket out the door for the day. And this will allow us to know what we want to do for Friday. So
Now, wait a minute. This is after the present.
after the presentation.
You want, wait a minute. The Yale students, you want them to write 2 paragraphs?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that might be a little much. What do you think?
well, can I clarify the questions to them with maybe 1 paragraph?
That's a good idea, yeah.
That way I'll have enough time.
Maybe they can choose which prompt they want to do, prompt 1 or prompt 2.
Okay.
And then and then with our friend, even if he wants to kind of answer that with 1 sentence and a picture, that would be okay too, rather than, because he struggles a lot with the full paragraph stuff and almost pulls away and doesn't want to do anything. But that will allow him to, we can get a good idea of what he got out of this whole activity, if we can at least get a drawing and a sentence out of him.
It's gonna be kind of neat to see how 2 of those students do, because of the fact that this is their 3rd language,
Yeah.
and see how they do. I think they're gonna do pretty good, as long as they can have a picture and be able to describe what they're seeing.
Good. And don't be afraid when you're clarifying to make it a little bit easier, the prompt. It doesn't have to be word for word right from here. Like remind them like textual evidence, it's just giving an example from the book. So, that's really what they're asking there. So just simplify, and we'll just keep building that vocabulary and front loading that vocabulary at the beginning of the lessons. They'll get it for sure.
Sounds good, I like that.
Alright,
Okay.
so that should, time wise and everything, that should be good. We nailed our Common Core, we got our EL in there. They're gonna have an opportunity to work in the small groups. Each person will have a chance to present. This is really, I think this is gonna be a really good assignment, especially for for a Wednesday, and then we can follow up on a Friday.
I think it's gonna turn out good. We can just keep an eye on our time and make sure that we get all this in, and I think they'll do good. I think it's very compact. I think it's gonna be right.
Good. Alrighty,
Okay.
good.
tomorrow.